Hello and welcome to the Classically Urban Podcast. I'm OG Philly G.
I'm George Georgopoulos.
I wasn't done yet, George.
Okay, fuck.
Oh. Joining me today are...
You know who it is.
Jesus.
Wow. I'm the legacy.
And his baby Ice Cube. Well, that was... shots
job,
have
boys.
already been fired.
Good job, boys.
That was some rude shit.
All right. We're back, and I'm sick.
And we're keeping the streak going of non-soberness for Cody over here.
Well, he's sober. He's just
I mean,
I'm hungover as fuck, too.
yeah.
still.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but...
But you weren't sober the night before.
Oh, fuck no.
No.
Fuck no.
No.
Fuck no.
The second he sat down on the couch, he just passed out.
Why are we
Facts.
all acting like going out on a Saturday and getting fucked up is weird?
No, it's just because it's
It's every
been
Saturday.
Cody's thing.
It's
man.
every
He's like,
Saturday.
yeah,
We
that
don't
too.
even go anywhere. You guys just come over.
Yeah, I
Get fucked
know.
up.
Last night y'all went somewhere.
Hey, it
It's
was
been a
fun as
while.
fuck, too.
Gang was back in town.
It's
It's too bad we, I would have invited, Brandon over here, but fucking... Hey, Brandon, do you want to go out? No. Okay.
Y'all know me so well,
I
man.
don't even bother asking you. That's how fucked up it is. So boring.
I enjoy
we
my life.
even invited Blaine.
Yeah?
He was sick, though.
I know. I haven't seen Blaine in forever, bro.
That was the whole point.
Well, if y'all would have told me everybody was going, I probably would have. But
I don't think he would have.
I don't think he would have handled it.
I mean,
It was too much fun. You would have exploded.
shut up.
Brandon would have gone, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I mean, eventually,
Oh,
probably.
Alan came out, too?
Yeah.
Fucking
Man, y'all just.
Alan.
Everybody was there.
That's what happens when you're a born fuck.
Well, if you all just asked me and said, "Hey, everyone's coming," if it was just you three, I'd probably be like, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh, damn, we're not good enough.
And then
Wow.
there were the three random girls who showed up, and then somehow they got a fourth.
No,
There was
they met their
Stacy,
friend there.
long black hair, and married.
I don't remember that.
You said
at all.
and married.
And married.
Oh,
Stacy.
Yeah,
long
wait,
black
wasn't
hair,
one of them married?
And married.
I don't know.
No. Yeah, she was married. Her name wasn't Mary.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
you know what's awkward? My boss is married, and she's in Broad Ripple quite often.
Oh, it was probably your boss then.
No, probably wasn't.
But I was
Maybe
talking
she's
to,
with her husband.
Yeah.
No, he never goes up.
I think I was talking to Alan.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put all of our information out there. My bad.
Jesus. Horrible employee.
Awkward.
And long black hair to Alan was just good eyebrows.
Oh. That's how you referred to her.
Yeah.
They told me their name a lot, and I
Uh,
still don't remember.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
I would have.
No, I
Like,
was
it
having too
don't
much
matter.
fun. to
It was
remember
so
things.
unimportant to me. I was just like, yeah.
Okay.
My philosophy is like earlier, Hannah was like, "We have to go drop this package that dropped off at our house when it's supposed to go to our neighbors." I was like, "Why do I gotta go?" She's like, "Cause I just need you to run up to the door." And I'm like, "I don't know these people." She's like, "You've met them before." I'm like, "I don't remember nobody's name who's not important in my
Oh,
life."
wait.
So it's just
Something interesting did happen. I got molested.
Hey, Cody got molested.
whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute.
I was at the bar trying to get a drink,
Okay.
and I just feel kind of something like press up against the back of me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I feel like a tug on my hair. And I turn around, and there's this just girl standing there. And she looks really fucked up. Like, she has that, like, just
That
blank.
blank, yeah.
And she's just staring into my soul. And I was like, what's up? And she's like, I had to. They're perfect. Like, because talking about my hair. I was like,
Yeah.
and I looked at her and I did that. Okay. And then I turned back around. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like trying to sign on the receipt like really quick. And then I felt her like press up again. And I'm just like, what in the fuck? And I turned around. And what did she say again? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have to leave you.
No. That was, yeah, she goes, you smell like strawberries. And I was like, that's fucking great. And I turned around and I'm like trying to like shove my card in my pocket. Like, oh my God. And then I turn around and she's still like up on me. And she's like, I have to leave you now. And I was like, that's great. I don't care. She takes a couple steps to the side and her man is standing behind her.
Oh.
And he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. And I have my drink in my hand. And he's just frowning. Just like, and I told him, I was like, I'm as confused as you are. And then I walked away.
You know?
He's a little bitch. He was huge, though. He was a big
Was he?
dude. Like,
Yeah.
He a little bitch. I'm just going to let your girl press up on another man.
Bruh.
What, you do punch the guy for that?
No, but I mean,
Yeah. It was just awkward because, like, I realized who he was instantly because he was just frowning. And I was like, Ah.
Bro, if you ever hear your girl call another man, say that another man smells like strawberries, you lost. Like, you're done. Like, you might as well just give up then and there, bro.
I was scared.
That's
Oh,
funny.
I got molested twice.
Oh, Jesus.
When we walked right into fucking Rock Lobster, that one bitch was trying to dance on me.
Mm.
Did you see? Did any of you see that?
No.
Fucking walk in. I think Alan saw it. Alan was standing next to me. I fucking walk in, and this bitch, she's dancing with a dude, and I'm just looking around, checking the surroundings, and like we made awkward eye contact, and I just kept it moving, right?
Yeah.
Next thing I know, she's like waltzing up to me, like standing in front of me, and she's just like, again, drunk blank stare. Only it was a drunk blank stare with a smile.
That's the best.
But it wasn't
look.
like the nice. It wasn't like the nice smile, like when you're trying to. She was drunk, so it was like the
Muppet smile.
yeah. She's like, and she's just looking at me, and I'm like, okay. And she's like, starting to dance a little, and I was like, that's great. She like gets closer, and I'm like, I'm trying to go that way, bitch. Get the fuck out of my way. And I just kind of like did that awkward like shuffle around her, like shimmied around her. And I think she was disappointed because she just looked back, and she was like, and then she like stormed off. I was like, I don't know who you are. Leave me alone.
That's the main reason I don't go with Joe, because I don't got time to be dealing with all them drunk people like that, bro.
Makes for fun stories though.
No,
I always
ain't
thought
got-
Rock Lobster was like the older bar.
Yeah.
Nah, I was
And then
surprised
we
when we
went
walked in there.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then like you go through like the main section of the bar.
Yeah.
You
That
go
place
through a
is
hallway.
huge. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, you go through a hallway and it just fucking opens up.
Dude, yes.
There's like, so you walk in, there's the main bar, and then there's like this tiny ass dance floor that everyone's crammed into like some fucking sardines in a can. And then like to the left, just before the dance floor, is another bar that direction. You go straight down the hallway, and it opens up. There's a bar to your left, and then there's a whole nother room to the right that's just as big as the first room with another bar in it. And then they have a back patio that's big as shit.
Hmm.
With those fucking, the part that pissed me off is those, it has those, you never worked at a restaurant. Well, they might have had it at O'Malley's. The big, when you're in a cooler, they have like the plastic drape things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had that on the door, so every time I walked in, I was fucking drunk, so I'm like, it's like slapping me in the face like some kind of like dildo or something, like just sitting on my face. And every time I tried to go like where one meets the other so I could just, slide through, it never worked out. It always just like stuck to my face, and I'd just be like, I'm all drunk, like, get off me. You don't know me, bitch.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was a good time, though.
That's good.
Yes, it was.
I was surprised. I didn't know Rock Lobster was.
Dude,
like, cool.
We definitely got to go there.
Because from the outside it looks like nothing.
It always looks dead as fuck.
Yeah.
Like you never see a line. I realize there's never a line. They get them in there quick, and they fill the fucking place up.
We also definitely
Good
got to hit
business.
up Alley Cat more.
Told you.
Oh, my goodness.
The drinks are cheap and strong as shit.
Oh, so amazing.
I was slapped. Slapped.
Gin
Man.
and tonics, I was good to go.
Yeah, man. You
good
need, you need to come out, man.
Again, if it's all of us, like the whole squad, I'd be down.
God.
But nah.
We do need to do that,
He
though.
doesn't
That's what
make-
I was really trying to put together.
That's why you just said ass. I would have been like, yeah, sure, why not?
I realized that it was kind of last minute. We need to plan this.
And for
But,
being so last minute, it was fun as
The rest of them need
fuck.
to come see mom again too.
yeah, that's it, yeah.
Well, yeah, we got a lot of shit we got to do.
Yeah.
Got nothing but time.
Yeah, that's facts.
Unless this turns out to be the flu and I die. But
Listen, you're gonna be
We'll
fine.
meet up at your funeral then.
I don't know. I don't think it's the flu, because wouldn't it be like more severe how I'm feeling?
Yeah, you just feel like shit. You'd feel like death.
I mean, I don't feel great, but like I'm not like drained. You know what I'm saying? I just feel a little.
You say this, wait till tomorrow. You just jinx yourself, sir.
Nah, bro. I've been like this for like 2 days. I'm cool.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I just kind of feel like internally dirty. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like that's how I've always felt when I'm sick. Like
My
I just
liver needs a good sponging.
yeah, like I just feel dirty on the inside. Like you know what I'm saying? Like just rolled around in the grass type of dirty.
That's how awkward.
You need to get one of them douches.
Oh my
There you go.
god.
Enema.
Ooh.
Y'all need to stop. That's gross.
Bleach your assholes, everyone,
Whoa.
Don't get it on your t-shirt though.
because then you'll feel like an asshole. Shout out to Kanye.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, man. Speaking of rap, segue.
Bam.
The
The rest of the stuff we gotta talk about has no segue that's appropriate, so we're just gonna like
recent in this week's hip hop news, former rapper has died. His name was Fredo Santana. He was one of the original pioneers of the subgenre, the drill.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he was, when Chief Keef was popping up, he's actually Chief Keef's cousin. And, he was right there with him during the whole drill movement. Yeah, but what's interesting about his death is that just towards the end of his life, he was 27. He just had a kid last year in June.
Dang, that's rough.
His baby's not even a year old yet, and he's dead. It's fucked up shit.
It's that Chicago stuff, man.
Well, he didn't get killed.
Oh, never mind.
He had a violent seizure, and his kidney and livers failed. Or his kidneys and liver
Dang.
failed. Yeah. Can you guess what from? Drugs.
Yeah, I figured.
Funny enough, though, he was actually in the hospital like 4 months ago, prior to this happening, for the same thing. He had a violent seizure. He was found in the bathroom like puking up blood and shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
But what's the importance of him dying? Obviously, he was like, he was really big in the hip hop community, like
Mhm.
between rappers and such. A lot of people respected him because he was one of the very few rappers who was really about like the shit he was rapping about. Like he was
about
really,
that life.
No, yeah, he was really about it. Like for instance, right, the drill movement. A lot of the songs consisted of like someone dissing another person from a different block. You know who never had a diss track towards them? Fredo. Nobody ever dissed that man ever. Not a single one.
There's probably a good reason for that.
Because people knew. They knew better. They were like, oh. So, but what's important about, his death is that towards the end of his life, he was taken to Twitter during the whole, there's a rapper named Russ. I'm sure you've heard about him.
I'm here to disappoint you once again, my friend.
Are you serious?
Listen,
You know who Russ is.
I heard of him. No,
'Kay.
I'm playing.
What? Okay, well, he's gotten he's on everybody in hip-hop shit list because when Lil Peep died, Russ took to Twitter to take that time to talk shit about people who take drugs. Really bad timing. Yeah.
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 And-
Good timing.
And what?
Oh, come on.
It's horrible
in the
timing.
news, it's people you
It's
gotta
horrible
get off
timing.
drugs.
That was somebody's friend. That was somebody's son. You're like, oh, he overdosed. Man, all y'all who take drugs, man, y'all stupid. You can get off that. Like, whoa, slow
See,
the fuck down.
Here's the problem with the way he did it. That he said that they're stupid and da 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 da. If he would have said, "Yo, this is what drugs can do to you. This is, the things that." this is
Even
how you
still,
can
like,
die
there's-
from
there's a
drugs,"
right and
like-
wrong time.
He would have waited.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he would have waited, but I'm saying there's a good way to do it and there's a bad way to do it, and he just went the completely bad way to do it.
the time to talk about drugs being bad is not when someone overdoses because that affects people. Like that hurts. You know what I'm saying? Somebody
Yeah.
dying. It's not time to lecture somebody. That's the wrong time. That on top of the fact, as we discussed here before, you don't lecture a drug addict. That doesn't help them.
What episode was that? Who can recall?
Ah.
Bro,
Shit.
they run in my head like just all the same conversation. So
I don't
Was,
even
was
know.
that R.I.P. Little Peep?
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was.
that would
Yeah,
make
it was. Yeah.
sense. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
When do we
Phil's
talk
brain's
about
working a
drugs?
little better than ours right now. But so Russ, has been getting a lot of bullshit taken, and Fredo took to Twitter to basically tell him, like, fuck off, you don't know what you're talking about, because people like me, Fredo,
Yeah.
the shit that we've had to live through from such a young age, all of our lives, it's like you got to find a way to deal with it, and a lot of the times it's drugs. Like, granted, obviously it's not a good decision, but when you're dealing with, police always fucking with you, always trying to fuck you up, your friend's always dying, you have to worry every single day if you're gonna die.
Yep.
You're living in shit. You know what I'm saying? People want an escape, and that's just the facts. And Fredo actually was diagnosed with PTSD. So that was his whole thing. He's like, well, he's like, yeah, I'm addicted, but and then he said, he was gonna, after that violent seizure, he said he was done.
Lies.
Well, he could have been done, but the after effects could still
That
be
is
there.
true. That is true.
Could definitely still be there.
And drugs aren't just something that you can just be like, I'm done. Like,
Yeah, it's obviously not something you can just kick, which I understand, but it's really shitty. But in his, and near the end of his life, he was starting to really promote like, don't. And he was telling people like, don't get on the shit at all. He's like, I don't like doing this shit, but it's part of me now, and I have to try and kick it. He's like, just don't get started on it.
Yeah.
So he was playing kind of an important role in that whole like.
That conversation.
Yeah, because now, just today, DJ Mustard, You know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He posted a video on Instagram.
I listened to the top 100. It's fine.
He was pouring out his last bottle of lean. He poured it down the sink and threw it away. Which, I don't know if you know this. This shit is fucking expensive. Like, really expensive.
I mean, I don't know the price point, but I assume.
It's like, it ranges between like $90 to $120 an ounce.
I assume since Lil Wayne does it, it's not cheap.
An ounce?
I'm just saying.
It's like barely enough to get you. Yeah.
I know that. I'm just saying, like,
That's
I've always assumed that it was
and he just poured out a whole bottle. Making a statement. You know?
Yeah.
But,
Good.
yeah, good for him, absolutely. Putting out the right message. Which, to be fair, hip-hop puts out the wrong message.
A lot.
But, you know, just talking about what you do.
Yeah.
You know, if you live that life, you live that life.
That's why I think hip hop is more important and more real than people really like to believe. Because it's like we wouldn't if we didn't like hear these stories, we wouldn't know what the hoods were really like unless they like sat there and videotaped them 24/7, which no one's gonna go do that. But it's good to have that. It's kind of like a PSA announcement or PSA. Like I said,
Public service announcement.
That's there you go.
Fucking moron.
I'm sorry.
But
Bruh.
yeah, so R.I.P. Fredo. You were one of the realest left, so it sucks, but shit happens, man.
Yeah. It's
Kind
rough
of have
out
to
there.
expect it, you know. And from a moral standpoint, I'm sure a lot of people, you know, the people who aren't into hip hop as much, I'm sure if they saw his track record, they would
They wouldn't care.
yeah, they wouldn't be
No.
too upset about his death.
No.
But
I mean, that's always bothered me about people, though. It's like,
like George said, you could build 1,000 bridges.
yep,
You suck one dick.
You're the dick sucker.
yep. It always sucks that like it's just because it's like it's the things we do that are wrong are more interesting to our culture than the things we do right, which has always been a
Yeah, like he was
Shitty
finally
thing.
starting to turn his life around. Like for a while there, he was so heavy on lean that he was fat as fuck.
wow.
I don't know. Yeah, that does that to you, like bad, because what it does is it slows your metabolism down like tremendously,
Mm-hmm.
and then you typically drink it with soda. So you're taking in all this sugar
Yeah,
while your metabolism is like stunted.
bro.
So you get fat. You get really fucking fat. And he was starting to get really fat. But towards the end of his life, he was starting to, you know, wean off the shit. He was starting to get in good shape. He just had a kid. He has a girlfriend. I think they might have been engaged. I don't know. Turning his life around, but just happened a little too late.
Sucks.
Sam Kinison was like that.
Who?
Sam Kinison, he was a stand-up comedian.
Mm.
He was known for being this huge party animal. You know, he had a bit like all throughout his career how no one cares about drunk driving. No one cares. Everyone does it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on the way home from this show. We're gonna do it tomorrow. We did yesterday.
Did he get killed by a drunk driver?
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
After he turned
Whoa.
his life around, he got off coke.
Wow.
And this dude was fucked up. Like he was on so much. He got his best friend's wife pregnant, and no one knew for like 18 years.
Isn't it amazing that you could live just like a horrible life and it never kills you?
Yeah.
But the second you stop, that's when life decides, yeah, you've had enough.
Karma, man. That's why it's those laws of energy.
That's
always,
crazy. That's just crazy to me. Like, fuck, man.
I forget who said it, but it was Bill Burr. He said he had a theory that the moment you figure shit out, you just die.
Yeah.
Versus like, yeah, you can't stay around anymore.
You know too much.
Exactly.
It's all that negative energy coming back on you, man.
I don't think it's that.
I mean, that's what I think it
it's
is.
just
It's good. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
valid discussion. Yeah.
Everything you put bad in the world's gonna come back to you sometime. It
I
comes in
agree.
different ways.
I agree. Energy is important.
That's
That's why I try to be
That's
positive.
why I like solar power. It's nice. It's clean.
Shut up.
And that's why you have a Walmart Wi-Fi.
Conserving energy.
His Wi-Fi's not that bad.
It's horrible.
It's gotten
fucking
better,
horrible.
but it's still
mean,
bad.
It's better than the reception I have when I'm in your house.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's the
Only when I'm like, his whole street, fine. The second I park in front of his house, nothing.
It's the old people. Technology can't function
It's
around.
so fucking weird, bro. Like, the second I pull up in front of his house, it just disappears.
This is gonna be kind of fucked up, but like, I think it's because you're Greek and your homeland is like affecting your house. You know, like it's so
Village
bad
people,
over
this
there.
shit don't work. What the fuck?
It's so bad over there that they gotta affect you over here so you understand. You know. Sorry, that was
crazy.
terrible. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, well, you said it, so.
It's
Who
fine.
gives a fuck? It's funny.
His grandpa probably has some sort of device in the crawl space that nobody knows about.
That'd be funny.
Kids on the damn phones.
They still have a house phone. That fucked me up this morning. Yeah. No, it scared me. because I was sitting there and I heard a house phone ring and I looked around. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Who has that ringtone? Jesus.
Yeah, and then George's grandma answered it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I saw the house phone. I was like, "What in the hell?"
The one house phone.
What is this,
Back
the
when
early
we-
2000s?
Back when we used to have to call that phone number to get a hold of George.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
None of you guys did because you were quote unquote scared of my grandma.
Facts.
No, there was just a lot of times where I would ask for you,
And
and
get my grandpa.
Yep.
Which
or nothing. Like she just wouldn't know what I was saying,
Yeah, that too.
or she would say okay, and then she said.
You know, it's just
And sometimes I would call and she would be like, "Okay, I'll wake him up and I'll have him call you."
And then you never call
You
back.
never get a call
just
back.
go the fuck back to sleep.
Yeah, and then
You
I
dick.
didn't want to be
Yeah.
that guy who kept calling, so I was like, "Well, not gonna hang out with George." There we go.
that was high school, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a little after high school too because nobody knew what. Well, I didn't know. Nobody knew
Yeah.
what happened to George.
Bruh, like
It's
we
my
didn't,
house.
didn't know if you graduated, if you died even, we had no idea.
That was a serious conversation we had.
Bro, like it was
If you
on my
graduated,
back porch.
if you graduated,
Oh,
It was-
that I knew.
It was on my back porch. We were just sitting there. We were like,
we were honestly concerned. We were like, "Shit, did George graduate?"
we were so confused.
Granted,
You know,
we could have just walked to it.
it's like right.
I just thought about that. Yeah, we could have.
have.
we could have figured it out.
Even I understood. That's way too much effort.
Yeah, no, we weren't gonna get up and go get you.
Nobody wanted to ring that doorbell.
Yeah.
Never knew who was gonna answer, or how they were gonna answer,
Yeah.
Shoot.
or if they would answer.
Not someone would answer.
Doorbell.
If it's his grandmother and she recognizes, like, at least me, it's always safe that she's gonna go get George. But
I'm
like,
surprised she still recognizes me, just
Well,
because of
you
how
used to come
different I
over
look. Yeah, just
for
how
work.
different I look though. Just
Don't look that different. Still got the weird hair.
yeah, but
Well, for her it's weird. For me it's weird. It's weird.
You know what she told George when the first time I came over there after I had my nose pierced? She told him she would beat him with a shoe if he ever came home like that. I was like, well, fuck. I was like, what does that say about me?
there's so
Fuck.
much shade thrown at
I
you.
know.
Like, so
Yeah.
much.
Like, goddamn you, yeah, fucking gangster as
I told you,
hell.
that's why I was so mad about that one rapper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Puya, or I mean, Fat Nick.
Yeah.
There's a
Fucking-
rapper named Fat Nick. He's Greek. He has like really long, kind of nasty looking dreads.
Yeah.
Not
And
kind of. They are nice.
Well, they're not nasty. They're just really matted. Like, it's very obvious that he started the dreads and just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Which in the dread world, it's respected.
He had about 4 on each side, shit like that.
Yeah.
He had the big bulky dreads.
But he's from Florida though,
Yeah.
so
I don't
but
care.
down there, dreadlock culture is different.
Alright.
They have what's called wicks, which I'm gonna start.
What are those?
Basically, you get like 2-3 dreads and you like twist them together and you just let them form in one fat one.
Oh.
Yeah. It's called wicks.
Because it's like a candle.
Yeah.
Was that right for real?
Yeah.
Fat hot.
You wick them. Yeah, it's like a wick.
I'm so smart.
Spelled exactly the same.
Is it really?
Covered
Yes.
in wax. Using the
No.
lights.
But I'm gonna start
Leave
a
little-
couple of them.
leave a little tail out there, it's lighting on fire.
Yeah, I'm starting a couple wicks just with my less favorable dreadlocks, the ones that aren't forming right. I'm just gonna fuck
Wick 'em.
it. Yeah, just I'm tired of dealing with it. Just like, cause they're already forming together anyway. I'm just like, you know what? Do your thing. Well, who am I to tell them what to do?
It's your head, but
They
whatever.
have a mind of their own, man. I'm telling you, they do. It's scary. Sometimes, I wake up in the middle of the night, I hear
Trying to
whispers.
choke you.
I hear whispers.
You need to stop. That's you going crazy.
See, no, that's just me under your bed.
No, that's Roch. He sleeps under the bed.
I'm talking to Roch, exactly. I'm the playman.
He's under there fucking my dog. Nobody can hear you.
Hey, when should we choke him?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like Medusa's hair, little snakes.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey.
Here's a good way. Speaking of choking,
Oh, God.
Aziz Ansari is now.
Segway.
Segue.
That was a good one.
I don't know if I like that one.
I told you there's not an appropriate one for me
That
to
was
do
a good
this. This is-
segue.
That's rough.
It's kind of sick, but it was good. I like that shit.
But yeah, so Aziz is now the next. Do we say victim?
Victim.
He was
of
me
what?
too. No, that's the other way around.
What is he a victim of?
Look,
He's the one who.
accusations.
It's accusations. If you read,
Yeah.
if you listen to what we're gonna say, you'll
Aziz
understand.
Ansari has been accused of sexual misconduct.
Yes.
Fact. I'm going to start this out because the only reason I say victim is because I believe personally women have so much power right now with that. It's unreal. And I feel like,
With great power comes great responsibility.
exactly. I know that's cheesy to say, but like,
it's also true to say.
exactly. So I don't know.
This
It's
is
just
getting
dangerous.
so out of hand. Before you start, by the way, you know what I just read today or
What?
watched a video? This whole like rape thing is getting so bad. Now, granted, definitely not putting the blame on the women
Oh,
At
hell no.
all.
No, absolutely not.
at all.
No.
But it's become such a big thing that there's somebody who has now designed an app that basically it's a consensual thing. Like it has the girl's picture, and she signs off on like, yes, we are going to have some consensual sex.
That's a genius.
No, it's not.
George had a good point though. He was like, she could agree, and then later think maybe not, and then he could fuck her, well, rape her, and she couldn't say otherwise because she signed that
Oh.
shit.
Or
Yeah.
since it's an app, I imagine it's hackable, which means you could hack it, say yes, I consent to this, and then do what people do.
I'm sure because the dude who designed it was he worked in law, so I'm sure there's some tweaks that
there
he
is.
has to because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
They're making it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's got some things to think about to implement it, but yeah, that's how out of hand this is getting. This is
Bro,
kind of fucked up.
It's crazy because it's like, okay, we're just going to base it off of this Aziz Ansari situation because this is the only one that is like,
It's ambiguous.
yeah. Every other one is like,
It's
Bill
cut and
Bill
dry.
Cosby, we all,
Yeah.
black people admit it. Bill Cosby did it.
No, leave that man alone, guys.
No, he did it.
I love Bill Cosby.
Calm
Just
down.
let him die. Just
Calm
let him
down.
die.
Harvey Weinstein, Roy Moore,
Yeah.
all, even Trump, like they all done their dirt. And
I still can't believe he tried to say that wasn't a recording. It's like my whole thing was like, you waited this long to
Wasn't
say
him
that.
on the recording.
You waited this long to say
Right.
that.
You
Right.
apologize for something that you didn't say.
right.
Right,
Like,
I'm saying you apologized, and then you wait like some months,
year?
like a year later, and you're like, "Hey, by the way, I didn't actually." That's too late, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Oh, did you know he had a affair with a porn star?
yes, Stormy Daniels.
Cody's sitting there. I've watched so many of her videos.
No, I'm gonna look her up. I'm assuming she's white.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to get into
Oh
this.
God, my Google search.
Apparently,
is
she
fucked.
gave a 1,000 word interview about it, and people are trying to find it now.
But essentially, I think in the 2017 Emmy Awards, Aziz was there because he's, this is the industry he works in. And
She
he
looks trashy, by the way. So anyway,
Oh, absolutely.
he was taking pictures with a really old-fashioned camera. I wouldn't say really old-fashioned because I don't know what kind of camera it is, but it was an older camera.
Polaroid.
And then a young girl who was there, which her name in this article is Grace because they don't want to put out her real name because she's not a public figure, which is fair. She had the same camera he was using, and she was taking pictures or whatever. So she went over to talk to him just because she had that little bit of confidence. Go talk to Aziz Ansari, who, in all due respects, is a very famous man who makes a lot of money for what he does.
Right.
So she goes, talks to him. They talk for a little bit, whatever, take pictures of each other at the Emmys, not in a sexual way, just, whatever. So then they go back to their dates and go about their business. Then later that night, they meet up again before they leave, and he asks for her number, and she gives it to him. And they text over the next course of a couple weeks and just flirty text like we all do when we find a new interest.
When you want some ass,
Yeah.
you could say that. It's okay.
Anyway, so they end up going on a date. Mind you, this date was a date that was an Aziz Ansari date. So like he's gonna take you to nice places. I don't remember the exact place. I don't know
Red
what the name
Lobster,
of it is.
bitch.
No,
Don't
but
eat their food trash.
but she they met up at his apartment. They had wine before they went out, and there was a quote in this thing that
Wait, they both had wine,
Yeah.
so they were both under the influence.
yeah.
It's gonna get thrown out.
Hold on.
I don't think she's taking him to trial. I think she's just telling her story.
So it says after arriving at his apartment in Manhattan on Monday evening, they exchanged small talk and drank wine. It was white, she said. I didn't get to choose, and I prefer red, but it was white wine.
Why is that?
That's my whole thing. This is my first problem with this article. This is why this is so terribly written. Why does that matter? He's giving you free alcohol. Be quiet. Just accept the free alcohol and move on.
Some of us have preferences.
Like, shut up.
White wine
Sorry.
makes me gassy.
All right, so then, so he walked her to Grand Bakes, which is an oyster bar on board a historic wooden schooner on the Hudson River.
Jesus.
Right? So she's getting the fine wine at 9, right?
God damn, is he?
Let's not. Never mind.
I'm not trying to big him up. I'm just saying,
No,
like,
let's not try to make it seem like he's doing all these nice things, so it's not really a bad deal. You know how
We're not. That's just
I
how
know,
the
but
story
it's-
goes.
I'm
I don't want
literally
people
just
to
reading
think
the
where
story.
it's coming off like that.
Oh,
It's
well,
more to the audience than you guys.
okay. I don't know what you're saying, but that's fine.
Okay, so
Proceed.
Okay.
Just keep going, Brandon.
All right. So they have dinner. She takes a picture of it, puts it on her Instagram, whatever the what. So then, and then they mentioned this in the article too. It says they walked the 2 blocks back to his apartment building, an exclusive address on Tribeca's Franklin Street, where Taylor Swift has a place too.
What the
that's a
fuck?
weird thing to mention.
It's like
It's
I
bad-
don't.
Yeah, it's a bad article.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so this is where I'm gonna cut through some of this because it's like there's a lot of stuff in here that's just like really like weird and. So basically, they get to his apartment, things get heated, they start kissing, whatever the what. He starts touching her, then it just escalates from there.
You need it.
What?
It starts to get heated. He starts touching her. They are going on and on.
Mm.
She says, "Let's slow down a little bit."
Yeah, I was getting
Okay.
there.
Sorry,
Calm.
I wasn't sure.
Boy,
I wasn't
calm
sure.
down.
It sounded like you were gonna cut that part out.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
So basically, he went to go grab a condom because he's ready to get that ass, and she was like, "Hey, calm down. Let's relax for a second. Let's just chill out." He was, and then so she says that he then resumed kissing her, and then briefly did some other sexual activities, including oral sexual activities, and then asked for that in return. Still, everything is cool. It's whatever. So she said everything was pretty much touched and doing that or whatever for like 10 minutes, but there was no actual sex involved. So this is where it gets like really weird. She said he started doing these moves to kind of get her more into the mood. And the move he kept doing was taking his 2 fingers in a V shape, putting them in my mouth, in my throat to his wet fingers, because the moment he'd stick his fingers in my throat, he'd go straight for and try to, yeah. It's like, I was like, whoa, this is getting intense, like quick. So on her part, that even like from my personal perspective, that would make me uncomfortable. I'd be like, this is too much. Like, I don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah, if a girl started shoving her fingers in your mouth.
Yeah, like like it's just
Yeah.
whoa.
Take it.
She Grace called the move the claw.
The fuck?
Wow.
So then,
I just thought of Ed anyway as a
The
coat
cocaine.
hanger.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So then this keeps going on. He starts. They get naked by this point. So he starts like,
Whoa.
yeah. He starts trying to do what he does as a man. I guess I don't
I mean,
know.
if you're naked, yeah, why not?
Listen, we're not there yet, Cody. We're not there yet. All right.
Is she willingly undressed at this point?
There was no indication otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad thing.
This is
to
getting a
leave in
little
story.
interesting, but okay.
Though with this writing, I don't blame him.
So he kept trying to get her to touch him, and she kept moving away from him, but he kept trying to do it after. So that, a little creepy. Like, I'll give her that one. What were you gonna say, Phil? Go ahead.
But the biggest thing in this article,
not
is-
done yet.
I know. But the biggest thing in this whole situation is she never like verbally said no.
Yeah.
She just hinted.
We'll get to that
I know,
part.
I know,
But
I know.
that's good. That's a good point.
It is a good
point.
Yeah.
Even here it says most of my discomfort was expressed in me pulling away and mumbling. I know that my hands stopped moving at some point. She said I stopped moving my lips and turned cold. So, so this article goes on to say that Asari either didn't notice Grace's resistance or knowingly ignored it, and it's impossible for her to say. She says, I know I was physically giving off cues that I wasn't interested. I don't think that was noticed at all, or if it was ignored. Then he keeps going, asking her questions of like, where do you want me to fuck you, while she's up on the countertops. She says that she found the question tough to answer because she didn't want him to do that at all. And so then she said, I wasn't really even thinking of that. I didn't want to be engaged in that with him, but he kept asking. So I said, next time. And he goes, oh yeah. Oh, you mean second date? And I go, yeah, sure. And he goes, well, if I poured you another glass of wine now, would it count as our second date? And then he then poured her a glass and handed it to her. And she excused herself to the bathroom. Yeah. So there's a lot of levels to this thing. So she eventually said that I'm uncomfortable with this, which she has every right to do. And he said, "Oh, of course, it's only fun if we're both having fun." And she said the response was technically very sweet, acknowledging the fact that I was very uncomfortable.
Okay.
She said, he said, let's just chill over here on the couch. And they did that, but then he kept going. He started to kiss her again and things like that, and tried to get her to do oral again. And she did. So she said she just felt like she was really pressured, and it was literally the most unexpected thing I thought would happen at that moment because I told him I was uncomfortable. But her clothes are not back on, so that's still a thing. I'm just saying, George,
I know.
there are levels to this. Calm
Jesus.
down.
Not.
You just gave me that look like, Brandon, don't do that. I'm like,
I just went.
So then he kept asking her the same question of, where do you want me to do this to you? And I was like, dude, you need to chill. At this point, I was like, he needs to chill a little bit. Like, there's a little too much, like, aggression in this.
Right.
And then she said it really hit me that I was violated. I felt really emotional all at once when we sat down there, that the whole that whole experience was actually horrible. And then he continued to kiss her and do these things like that. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. And he eventually calls her an Uber, and she gets in the Uber and goes home. Which no sex was partaked in, I don't believe. No, I don't think so. She said,
I thought you just said she sucked his dick.
I mean, no, like,
No.
Intercourse.
yeah.
Okay.
She said, I cried the whole ride home. At that point, I felt violated the last hour or so out of my mind. So then, the next morning, I don't remember, I think it was he texted her, and she responded saying, hey, what you did last night was really out of line, yada yada, just telling him what he did. And he responded like anyone else. He's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I was just,
Right.
yeah. So then he won 2018, or I guess it's the 2018 Emmys now, isn't it?
2017.
No, wait. Oh, it was the Grammys. I think it was the Grammys or something. No, not the Grammys.
It would've been 2017 though.
No, it was another award show. He won an award for Masters of None, the show he does.
The show is not that good. But
Anyway, she saw him winning this award, and she felt disgusted by it, I guess. So then she
decided to go public.
Yep. And that's basically where we're at with this.
Interesting. Well.
Oh, wait, hold on. In the Uber home from Asar's apartment, Grace texted a friend. I hate men. She continued, I had to say no a lot. He wanted sex. He wanted to get me drunk and then fuck me. She texted another friend after she got back to the apartment. I'm taking a bath. I'm really upset. I feel weird.
Well,
I imagine after the claw, anybody would feel weird.
it's an interesting situation because you can look at it from a few angles. The one thing that I will say that people should keep in mind is in situations like that, women do feel like powerless, like not in control of the situation. Just because this thing happens so often and it's kept so under wraps that it's like they almost feel like they're the bad person for getting raped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So granted, he could be, completely, necessarily like not wrong. Like he could have just been drunk and not really understanding the situation, right? That's a possibility. Or there are some out there that are going to take the position of, well, you should have just said something. That's an argument.
Cody.
Is that your argument?
Yes.
Oh.
Like, listen, there's nothing, like, everything that these women are going through is a serious thing. They have every right to fight against this and do whatever they need to do.
Right, but us as men,
I'm not, just let me, us as men, we do need to be better about that and understanding that we have that power in that moment.
Right, and we don't know what it feels like to be
We
powerless.
don't.
Unless, of course.
Yeah.
You got raped.
Okay, that's fair.
Which is not as
But at the
common.
same time, we can't just, like, I look at it any other problem. Like if you take black people, we can't just sit around and expect white people to finally get it that racism is a thing, and it's like,
right. But that's why women are, rallying now and starting to have a voice, which is why stuff like this is good.
But I still feel like they just say, oh, it's the men's fault. It's the men's fault. They need to be better. No, we need to be better. But you guys also have to take the responsibility to grow up and be adults and say, hey, I'm going to leave. Like, it's not.
Right. But the change, there are a lot of changes to be made. Obviously, like just with any problem, you can't just change one thing and expect it to be fixed.
Yeah.
You have to do a few things. But yes, I would say like women should be more vocal, but oftentimes they are, and nothing. They still get victimized.
Well, I'm talking about like this situation.
I'm saying there's a reason that they would feel uncomfortable with like like I said, it's a power thing, right? They feel like they don't have any power of the situation because in a lot of cases the woman is extremely verbal, sometimes physical in her resistance, and it gets nowhere. So I know, but I'm saying when you hear case by case, like one after another, just like that, it's almost like you feel like if you are to say something, you're fucked regardless. Like you're just in the situation. You have to deal with it.
But I think that's having such like a view of that all men do this.
Well, obviously that's the wrong stand to take. Just what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like no matter what, like you should at least say, "Hey, I don't want to do this. I'm going to leave." And then at that point, you may be fucked or you might not be, but at least you took that step to verbalize, because we don't read minds. We can't tell just by your verbal cues.
I see what you're saying now. Like at least say that.
Yeah, like at least take some responsibility on yourself to say, I did everything I could in this situation to get myself out of it.
Right. Okay.
That's all I'm asking for.
I see what you're saying. But, again, it's hard to say in a situation like that because, obviously none of us have been fucking raped.
That's true.
And none of us have really felt like powerless in a situation like that. So we can't really say what goes through your mind unless you've really been in a situation like that. So stuff like this is really difficult because you can't really put yourself in those shoes.
Oh, no, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you never dealt with it before. And
I mean,
we
you did
probably,
last night, but that's fine. I'm just kidding.
I don't know if I felt powerless. Felt a little uncomfortable. I did try to remove myself.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Numerous times. But I also didn't tell her to leave me alone. Okay, yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, see, look.
But no, like
that's a lot different.
My whole thing was like, I'm just gonna ignore it, keep on with my day. Hopefully somebody's gonna grab her and be like, "The fuck are you doing?" Like, if we went out and you got belligerently drunk and you were doing that to a girl, I would grab you and be like, "Can we go this way?" Like,
and as my man, I thank you for that. Sir.
Right, but
yeah, I know.
I was in a different situation, but point being,
I just like every time I see these things come up, it's always like women, like men have to be better, men have to be better, men have to be better, and it's like, no, that's not the way problems get fixed. It's both sides becoming better in that situation.
Yeah, you've got to come together on that situation.
That's what I'm like.
But in order to do that, you have to understand their standpoint.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah, but I don't think the argument is that all women think men are bad.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying all women do think that. I'm just saying that, like, when these like hardcore feminist groups come out and say this,
those aren't real feminists.
I understand that, but I'm saying those are the ones.
Morons.
Those are the ones that have the loudest voice in the situation for some reason.
Because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's like
that's a cultural thing. That's a whole another problem. That's a society thing. Like we focus on the shit that's a little more entertaining because.
I mean, we said it earlier.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a totally different problem. But I just think shit like that sucks because it's like nobody really can say for sure, and it sucks if she really did have to deal with something like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like what she did, like.
But then there's always the case of like she could totally be lying, and she could have just been upset that she didn't. That what if the case is right? Bear with me. That she did all that, and Aziz didn't never like called her back. I'm saying no. And she felt some type of way when she realized like he's on top. That's a thing.
I know it's a thing. I don't think that's what happened.
Like I said, there's a lot. Hey, like I said, there's a lot of angles to it.
There are. I mean, I think it's this situation specifically. It's important to realize that he is Aziz. He might be some 90-pound skinny dude, but his title does hold something in our culture.
And that's another thing. Like when you're a celebrity.
That's pretty much how the Me Too movement started. It was men using the position of power over women to take advantage.
Yeah.
But has he released a statement like
yeah.
Louis did?
What did he say? I did not hit her. I did not. This is bullshit.
The next day, I got a text from her. Oh, wait, hold on. Why does seeing him break things up like this? It's annoying. It's September of last year. I met a woman at a party. We exchanged numbers. We texted back and forth and eventually went on a date. We went out to dinner, and afterwards we ended up engaging in sexual activity, which by all indications was completely consensual. The next day I got a text from her saying that although it may have seemed okay, upon further reflection she felt uncomfortable. It was true that everything did seem okay to me, so when I heard that it was not the case for her, I was surprised and concerned. I took her words to heart and responded privately after taking the time to process what she had said.
Okay. Well, this
To
could.
me, that doesn't sound like a dude who's like out there on the prowl looking to rape somebody. Like,
Well, I mean, like we don't know.
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know. He could genuinely be sorry, and he could also be hurt by the situation. Like, fuck, like, I really did that to somebody. And I think in a situation like that, he should take it upon himself to, like, reach out to her and try and make amends. Because if you don't, and that really did fuck her up, like, that's some long-term shit. Like, that would really fuck somebody up for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it seems, like, kind of minor, like, she just felt uncomfortable, like, that could leave like an imprint on her life forever. Like she could just never want to be, date again or like be scared all the time.
Yeah.
And that's some shit that, I think if he's really like sorry and if he really feels like, oh shit, he should take the steps to make things right or as right as they could be.
I think the other thing in this is that Aziz is a hard advocate for feminism. Like hard advocate.
Like I said, and he could genuinely be sorry.
Yeah, but here's wrong with this. He wore a Time's Up pin to the award show or whatever. So which is the Time's Up is like for women's. I think it's. I don't want to say
it's
like,
time's up for these types of men.
Is it? Okay, yeah. It has something to do with this movement. It's not the Me Too movement, but it's another.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Same fight, different party.
Yeah. He's had speeches about feminism his entire career. He's built a platform. His comedy has been built off of supporting the feminist movement. So I think like this, I'm just gonna fuck it, whatever. She probably expected him to be like softcore, like real lovey-dovey, and he stuck his finger in her mouth, and she was like, "What is God doing to me at this moment in time?"
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? That's, and that's why whenever I, first start talking to him, I lay it down like, hey, Cody's nasty. So if you ain't about it, just
I'd bring some headgear, pads for your abdomen.
You need to stop. God dang it.
But just let him know, like, fucking
Mouth guard.
freaky.
But what if this is all a lie? Like, let's just to play like devil's advocate, I guess. Let's just assume this is all a lie.
Yeah.
Is that not something that's super dangerous for our society?
Oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's fucked up. Like I said, great power comes with great responsibility.
Like, it's just
in the wake of this movement. So if somebody was to do that, that would like break down the whole movement.
That ends
instantly.
Yeah.
Well, that accusation ends people's careers,
especially at this
their
moment in time.
Yeah.
private lives, like with their kids and things like that. Like, it ruins people. That's not something to mess with at all.
I don't think she's lying because.
Oh, I'm not saying she. I'm just saying, like, let's assume, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like just
No, I feel you.
hypothetically speaking, if she
Right.
were
Yeah,
lying,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely it's some shit. I think if you do that, you should face jail time. To be honest with you,
Yeah, there's like no repercussion for doing that.
like, cause
I think there is.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Like, if someone came and lied on you right now, your life would be over. Everybody in the world who knew about it would think you're a shitbag person.
Well,
She can come out and be like, "Oh, I lied," but then her life is just
are we
she-
talking about like legally if she filed charges and then it came out after?
no legally. It's your life's fine if that legally. I'm talking about in the public's eyes. You're a terrible human being.
yeah, no, bro, I had to deal with this.
Really?
You didn't hear about it?
No. We don't know.
I don't know if I want to name drop.
Don't name drop.
Then don't.
Name drop. Just
There was a certain person that I had dated, and we fucked, right?
yeah.
Years later, like I was a freshman when we were together. It was the summer after I had graduated. I had caught wind that this girl was at a fellow classmate's graduation party, and she was talking to everyone, and she was crying, telling everyone that I raped her. And my friends were there, and they had told me about it, and I was like, excuse me?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it was the Carmel Fest, the 4th of July festival. When I had caught wind of it, and I knew I was never gonna see her. I was at the Carmel Fest, and I was like, I bet this person's here. I was getting a lot of funny looks.
Oh yeah.
So I nipped that shit in the ass, like in front of all her friends.
Damn.
All of her friends
Respect.
came up to her. I was like, look, you need to stop. And, you know, she tried to play the, what are you talking about? And I was like, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You're telling everyone that I raped you, and we both know that's a lie. All of her friends looked at her.
Bruh.
They looked back at me, and they looked at her, and she goes, well, I didn't say that. And all of her friends looked at her like, and I was like, this ends now.
Bro, that is not
And
something.
then you drop kicked her.
No, I did throw her, though.
Oh, yeah.
There's that
Are you
ex-
serious?
Yeah, it's the same girl, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bruh.
I was scared, bro. I was like genuinely scared when I found out about this because I'm like, well, hold the fuck on. Like, you can't. I told her, like, I was like, you cannot go around telling people that. Like, I could really go to jail for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
And I could be ruined. Like, I would be a registered sex offender.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a job. I
Yeah.
couldn't live in certain places.
Mhm.
Like, I would be fucked for real.
And you know what's worse?
What?
She was not 18.
Neither was I.
I know, but I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
At the time she was making the accusations, yeah, she still wasn't 18 either.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I was scared. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit.
Dude, that is
and
crazy.
Since it was the summer after we had just graduated, I just turned 18. Because I turned 18 in May, and this was in July. And I just turned 18 2 months prior, so I'd have been facing time in big boy jail.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's.
With the other rapists.
Yeah.
No, don't laugh, goddammit. That's scary. I could have been in there with
I'm
big
sorry.
panties.
No, I'm
Oh,
sorry. I was thinking about that Atlanta video you showed us again. And
Oh,
it's just,
yeah. That's a man. But, nah, bro, I really could have been in there with, like, held up with, because you know they keep the rapists and the murderers in their own block.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets different blocks. I'd have been in there with rapists and murderers, real life ones, though.
Yep.
Like, that was some scary shit.
That's why
bro.
it's so serious. That's why I agree with you. There needs to be some repercussion for them for doing that.
I wish there was. Oh, man, I would have fucking
But
pressed charges.
at
on
the
that
same
bitch.
time, there's no way to prove it.
Well, there was no way to prove that I had raped her except for
I know.
word of mouth. But the
Exactly,
problem is,
but-
you say that, and
Everybody already assumes you did it.
all I can do is be like, no. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, I could have had text receipts, but this was so long ago. Like, I don't have those text receipts anymore.
Yeah.
This bitch invited me over when her parents weren't home, and she was like, you know, you wanted to do this and that, and I was like, yeah, I did.
Like, I'm a man, please. Yes,
Yeah.
let's go. Like,
And as a matter of fact, I will also note that while we were in the action of fucking, she told me to stop, and I did, and that was it.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Know what I'm saying?
You're a great man.
She said, could we take a break? I was like, absolutely.
Respect.
Took a break, hung out for a little bit. I rode my bike home. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I hopped on my like
Mongoose.
yeah, my fucking 1992 Mongoose,
Holy
bitch. Hell yeah.
I rode my bike home.
Yeah, it was like goddamn 2 a.m. I rode my ass home.
The big old grin on your face.
Yeah, exactly. I was riding my bike. Ha, I got some pussy. Yep.
Cody, sometimes I love your life so much. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That is
Sequitur bike was perfect.
that is hysterical.
You know what was the worst part about it? Pussy was trash.
Oh my god.
I
Why are you
almost
doing
got
that?
I almost got convicted of being a rapist for some bullshit pussy.
Why are you doing that? You need to, that's irrelevant.
Well, I'm just saying it was horrible.
That is irrelevant.
And no, I was gonna say if you're listening, you're not listening, but if anyone knows who I'm talking about, yeah, you know what's good. But yeah, man,
You just put her whole life on blast to all of our friends.
fuck her. I really want to say names, but I'm bigger than that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't.
Don't,
Bigger
be,
than
don't
that.
be petty. Don't
She
be
could be
petty.
a better person.
Katie's like off screen.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys. Well, I'll tell you, Katie, after this is done. But yeah, that was some scary shit, man. I really I've done a lot of fucked shit, right?
Yeah.
Could have FaceTime, whatever the what. But point being is like that would have been the worst case. Granted, I wouldn't have been in prison that long because as we discussed, you know, in a previous podcast,
Yeah.
rapists don't get a long time. But the fact that I would have been locked up, I would have had a bunkie that either fucks kids or murders people. Know what I'm saying? I was 18.
Yeah. Bro, it happened to me when I was in middle school.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yup. Had the same thing.
You had to nip in the ass. You're like, no. What the
Actually,
fuck?
hold up. I remember it happened to someone who was actually like a popular kid in middle school again. And
Yeah.
dude, people lit him up on Facebook
Yeah.
because that was the place to go back in the day.
I want to say I remember. We'll discuss.
Yeah, we'll discuss
names
later.
afterwards. But
But yeah, this chick, she said the same thing after we broke up.
Mm.
And what it was I started dating someone like a week later that was like kind of her friend. So she was low key shitty about it.
my whole thing was she had no.
Bro,
this
wait,
bitch had
wait.
no reason. We were done, over with for years. This was like 4 years after.
Yeah.
There was no reason for this.
Yeah. Now, they know my mom. Imagine me. That's my best friend upstairs, right? First person I called when I found out.
Oh,
Bro,
didn't she message her on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't remember that. But, bro, try having that conversation with your mama. Like,
I never told my mom that story because I know my mom would have been like, "Where's this bitch?" live?" Like my mom would have been shitty. Yeah, no, it's scary.
Bro, it's terrifying.
Really scary. Like I never would have been anything ever.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even do this podcast because, if this shit blows up, I'd be the fucking rapist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it would come to light. They'd be like, "Oh, fucking podcaster's actually a rapist. Are you going to support them?" I couldn't do shit. I have
That's
to work
why-
at fucking Burger King for the rest of my life. And even then, they probably wouldn't hire me.
Yeah, you couldn't because they got shut down.
Yeah, the Burger King did get
Thanks,
shut
Phil.
down.
Thanks,
But-
Phil.
well, they probably wouldn't let you because you have to work around kids and shit.
Yeah. It's such a, like, that is such a, that almost, to me, that's almost worse than, like, that's a worse accusation than saying you murdered somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's, because, like, a murderer, you can be like, well, like, why? Like, why did you feel like it was okay to do this? Rapist, there's no conversation there.
Yeah.
There's no conversation.
There's
There's no,
never
like,
an okay conversation.
nope. And there's never, like, a point where, you, like, even if you were falsely accused, there's no point of, like, redemption from that.
No.
There's nothing. Because half of the world is going to think you're a piece of shit for the rest of
Okay,
your life.
devil's advocate, real quick. Had you guys have found out, and if it was true,
About you?
yeah, I'm saying like, yeah,
Um,
I'm saying it's heavy, right?
Yeah, that's rough. Like I could never tell any girlfriend I had after that point because they'd be like so shitty. But that's I don't know, man. That's rough. And you are a dog too. Like
I'm saying.
that's how dangerous that stuff is.
I'm saying
man.
like.
Ruin your social life and your life.
Okay, so what if she would have went really far with it, and I was saying it wasn't true, but then I got convicted.
Ooh.
Now,
There's false convictions, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get convicted. That holds a level of like.
I would have to know if you did it or not. Like if you get convicted for it and you didn't do it, that's one thing because I know and I can still respect you because you went through some bullshit that you shouldn't have gone through.
Yeah.
Right. But the problem is, it's really hard to prove to people that you didn't do it
Yep.
after you've been convicted because that holds a lot
Yeah.
of weight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like almost as proof in itself.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, bro, guys, come on, man, I really didn't do it. And you're just like, well, you're behind glass right now, man.
I think after you got convicted and you said you didn't do it still, I'd believe you because you're convicted. What else are you going to do?
It's true.
Yeah, it's already on there. If you keep denying it, I'd be inclined to believe you. I
Well,
don't know if I actually
people
would, but-
people be scared.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Please don't take me with the rapist.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That'd be
I don't think
like
you
if I
would.
know you did it, I probably couldn't fuck with you no more.
No, I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't.
But if
I would expect you not to.
if I knew for a fact you didn't do it and she was just on some bullshit, I'm still gonna be your dog to the
It was
day we
funny.
die.
It was Nevin that told me he was at that open house,
Really?
and when all that was going on, I think it was Nevin and Liam.
Oh, God.
They both looked at her and started laughing. They're like, Cody would yeah, because they were like, what? He wouldn't do that. And they were all like, shut up. Like, he would not do that. They were like, you're fucking crazy. Like,
Oh
in
my-
front of
Oh
everyone.
my god.
Yeah, so they had my back.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
do that, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying. It was fucked because they told me, like, all these people were huddled around her and she's crying. Like,
Bro.
what the fuck? Yeah, I'm saying.
Jesus. And there's people out there who probably still think you are to this day.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Bring your name up.
What if that one bitch that you said, dude, we should hang out with her more on Instagram? What if she knows her, and that's why she thought I was creepy?
When was this?
Y'all
Remember, what was-
having a totally different conversation.
Nah,
I'm so
because
confused.
remember you were like, oh, I think she was like at my party or something like that.
Were you talking about the girl who recognized the set of bridal thing?
Nah. The one the one you were like on Instagram and you were like, oh yeah, this person. I told you I don't remember her, and you were like, well, she knows you. This was literally yesterday.
Bro, your mind is fried.
Oh yeah. Well, it was yesterday, so.
Yeah, I'm saying you were on Instagram and you were like, "Oh, we can hang out with her more." And I was like, "Who is that?" You're like, "We hung out with her," and I was like, "I don't think so." And you're like, "Well, she knows you because she said you creeped her out."
Oh, Natalie Hahn. No.
You just go through.
Okay.
Whoa, that was okay.
No, she did. Are you sure?
Yeah, no. She didn't know her.
We don't know that though.
Why would you do that?
No, she said you looked creepy. That's why. And I was like, how? He looks like an oddish. Like,
Yeah.
well, she's gonna listen to this.
Dreadlocks to fragile white people are a little intimidating.
Oh well, Cody, she was fragile. Don't know if she was white.
Those waspy people.
Facts.
She was raised by them.
Damn, bro, I didn't even think about that. Fuck.
What?
There really could be a handful of people out there that really believe that, and they could have told someone, and they could have told someone.
I'm just saying.
What makes this even better? Because now I'm going to freak you out. Okay.
Oh.
You're not going to like this very much.
Hold on. We all know that when Phil talks, it gets serious, so we're ready for this. Let's go.
Hold on. No. Does this
Okay.
pertain to my situation?
Play
Yes.
dramatic music.
Okay.
Oh no.
So,
please, Phil.
since the situation happened, what, like 4 years ago now, since we graduated?
Longer than that.
Bro, it's been 4 years since we graduated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
no,
fuck.
like since she.
Oh,
was
since she
telling it-
accused? Yeah.
Okay. There's probably some bitch out there that's just been sitting there plotting. I'm gonna get this fucker. And one day you're gonna bump into her.
He took that to another level.
Yeah.
You're taking this too far.
you're gonna-
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
I'm gonna run into her and she's gonna like seduce me or something and like tell everyone I raped her.
No, it's darker.
Oh, she's gonna rape me?
Yeah.
No, darker. Okay.
Some
It was-
Pulp-
wait.
some Pulp Fiction shit.
Wait. It was the Golden Globe Awards. That's the award he won. Sorry, it was bothering me. I'm sorry. Go on.
She's plotting. You're gonna bump into her.
Hmm.
Probably go back to one of your two places and fucking. Wake up-
When will
wake-
this happen?
You're gonna wake up with your dick glued to your forehead. She'll be sitting there taking a video. I finally got this fucker.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Jesus.
You need to stay off the internet. You should not be allowed. People with your imagination should not be allowed on the internet. Oh my
Especially on
god.
Craigslist.
But no joke, you got to keep that in the back of your head. There might be somebody crazy enough out there to,
That's
glue your
true.
dick to
Okay,
your
stranger
forehead.
things have happened.
And knowing your life,
Facts.
Oh damn.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
Knowing my life, there's probably somebody out there who's plotting and like wants to press charges or something.
Probably.
That's scary, bro. It's really scary.
What type of life are you living that someone's wanted?
George, I get stared at when I pump my gas. I attract attention.
This
I don't
is
mean
true.
to. And you know what my main goal in life is?
Be left alone.
To be left the fuck alone. All I want to do.
Shit chose a different hairstyle than sir.
Look,
Yeah,
my hair
Tony.
should not dictate how often I get bothered.
That's true.
God damn it.
That's facts. But I think it's just this whole situation, like the Me Too movement. It's a great movement.
Oh yeah.
This article
I support that
totally
shit.
like tears it down, so they probably should have never posted that. But yeah, babe, you have shitty writers. Fire whoever wrote that. 'cause
Who's
was
that?
garbage.
Babe.
That's the website it came from.
Babe.com.
Yeah, they're a feminist. Yeah. Look, you can be a feminist and be a good writer.
They're
What you can't do,
There's a misogynistic joke there.
yeah, I know. But what you can't do is be a feminist and be a shit writer, because none of your points are gonna ever get across.
Yeah,
So fire whoever that is.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say her name.
And see, that's the danger of like having big movements like that is everyone feels a part of it and they feel like this this huge sense of
I can look at her
entitlement,
picture.
and they feel like everything they say is valid,
Oh.
which can tear down a movement really fast. Like if there's a Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
When you have those people like driving around like fucking honkies, well, which is funny in a way, but the point being
Shout
is
out
like,
to Tom Segura.
yeah. But I'm saying like you have those out there that have like a bad twist on it, and that of course will get the most attention and it'll tear down your movement.
It's like the Dallas police shooting when that
Yeah.
guy shot up all those police.
They
but he had-
blame the Black Lives
Yeah.
Matter movement. I was like, how does that even make sense? The movement got shot up. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's
I think my biggest thing with this article and this whole situation is what's to say she didn't go through, do everything she did, and then go home and then the next morning wake up and be like, well, that really sucked.
Yeah. He
That's
had some
true.
bad dick. I'm
that's
upset.
true. That's very true.
Because this is all being based off of her accounts from almost a year ago now.
No.
I thought
It was in the same year.
Oh.
Because the Golden Globes and the Emmys aren't at the same time. Two different award shows.
But
She
there,
met him.
there
at-
was a time period.
there was a
in between.
distance between it. Yeah, there was. But she texted him the next day, and here they have a screenshot of the text. I'm not going to read the whole thing because that's like absurd.
They
but-
got text receipts.
Oh,
But-
hold on. Wait a minute. Where did it
She
go?
might have been fine with it the night before and gone home and changed
Yeah.
her mind. It's buyer's remorse.
That is not a good sound to make when we're having this conversation,
Oh,
Phil.
my.
You shouldn't do that.
That's true. There's a lot of angles to this. That's
There
what
is,
makes
and
shit like
that's-
this super difficult.
That's another problem I have with it. Is like, it's not my fault you regretted having sex with me. Get out of here. That's on you.
Right.
Like,
That
I
bitch
should be.
the bitch who accused me was probably like, he's a piece of shit. I really shouldn't have did that. And she's right, but, you know.
Well, it's like how many athletes last year got let out of jail? Like promising athletes who got accused of rape and spent 5 to 6 years in jail, only for the lady to eventually come out and say, "Oh, it didn't actually happen."
Facts. And that's a man's life destroyed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That could have happened to me
Yeah, like you can't.
and you.
I feel like if you have you have to have the same energy about it as you did when you got in that interaction. Like you don't have to like it, but you can't be like go like, okay, I'm gonna do this and we're gonna have sex,
And
then
that's why-
flip it 3 days later and be like, I don't really like him no more. I don't want people to know that I had sex with him because I think he's dirty. So I'm just gonna not say he raped me. Like that's not okay.
Well, that's why I say people should live their life without regret.
Yeah.
Because in my this my whole thing. I don't regret anything I did because I know at the point in time that I did that, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't be upset with the fact that at one point in time I decided to steal something or, you know, whatever the what, right?
Yeah.
I can't be mad at myself like, I hate myself for doing that. No, like, you know what I'm saying? I did it. I don't do it now. And then, you know, you move on.
Mm-hmm.
I think people just need to stop regretting shit. Just, you know,
Or understand
how to
that
live.
understand that as you get older, you evolve as a person. So
Right.
your decisions are going to be made with a different level of thinking than they were
change a
in the
little
past.
bit every single day.
It's an important thing to remember. But okay, this is her text because he texted her. He was like, "Hey, it was fun meeting you last night. I just dropped my roll of film today. Fingers crossed for some solid shots." Talking about the camera, whatever. And she said, "Hey, Aziz, nice meeting you too. I hope you have some good shots on the roll. Last night might have been fun for you. It wasn't for me. When we got back to your apartment, you ignored clear. Sorry, there's like a play button in between these words, so it's like clear nonverbal signs. You kept going with advances. You had to have noticed I was uncomfortable. I just want to take this moment to make you aware of this behavior and how uneasy it made me feel. Really think back to last night. You may have said it's okay, only fun if we're both enjoying it. Let's just chill. But within moments of your fingers were down my throat. You were putting my hand on your dick continuously, and then it cuts off from there. But you know, I mean, she like that could have it was the next day, so I mean, she kind of had that remorse, I guess, as soon as she left the apartment. But
You know, you can Photoshop those messages.
I know. Listen. I'm just reading what I'm given here,
Yeah,
sir.
no,
Like,
it's always an option.
I don't know. It's just always very like there's too many like. For me, for this situation, not saying that she didn't have an uncomfortable situation. Too many like inconsistencies in it for me.
I think there was another similar story within the last week or two. And I think the guy's younger sister figured it out. Like cops had gone through everything and like they ended up convicting him of rape. And then somehow she ended up on his Facebook account in his messages and found like archived messages that proved everything that was said and all the messages that were shown to be false.
Oh, damn. That's some shit.
Right, it's Facebook coming in clutch. Bro, have you ever loaded up Facebook? This is totally sidebar. Have you ever loaded up Facebook and seen old conversation from like years ago, and you're
I
like,
deleted all of them.
I was like, what? I was like, wait a minute. This
I
is so
deleted all
long
that
ago.
shit so I don't have to look at it again.
So her text went on to say, it may have seemed okay, but I didn't feel good at all. All day I've been playing it over. I'm realizing how much it affected me. I want to make sure you're aware so maybe the next girl doesn't have to cry on the ride home. Good luck on your movie. Thank you for dinner. And then he responded a day later. He said, "I'm so sad to hear this. All I can say is it would never be my intention to make you or anyone feel the way you described. Clearly, I misread things in the moment, and I'm truly sorry."
I think it's funny, the whole situation, though. The fucking comedy community. They just ran with that shit. They were
Bro.
like, "Oh yeah, because he's a racist now, or Aziz a rapist. Now we can all say his shit sucks without feeling bad about it."
No one gives a fuck.
Yo, everyone was outing his ass. I was
Tom
like,
Segura
"Fuck."
said that word for word.
I
by
know.
the way.
I was like, "Oh
He
my
said-
god."
No, because here's the thing. Little known fact: Aziz is horrible to work for.
Oh really?
Yeah, like Owen Benjamin said that a bunch of people who worked under him, like camera crew, shit like that, hate working with him. And you have to imagine he probably puts that whiny voice of his to work a lot.
Oh yeah.
Can you get better lighting on this side of my face? Fuck you.
I just think it's funny that the community, the comedy community, didn't even like try and like defend the fact that
No.
it's not proven. Nah, they
Nah.
ran with that shit.
Nah, bro.
I was like, damn.
They defended Louis more than it defended him, man.
Right?
I'm saying.
Well, that's because Louis just jerked off in a corner. Like,
He did more than that.
I mean,
man.
yeah, that's the joke, though. I'm just
I know.
saying, like,
But fucking Aziz, no one gave a fuck.
bro, they were like,
What if
Genuine-
what if it all turns out to be false and other comedians are like, "Well,
this
we
is
said
a-
what we said. Too late now."
They're just sitting on the other side of the room from Aziz. We don't want to see you around here anymore.
Dang,
We said what we said.
that's
Go.
so funny.
We said it, and we meant it.
All right, so we're about an hour and 10 right now. That took up a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
I liked it.
It's a hard
It's a good
topic.
conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Hard topic.
It's a conversation everyone needs to have. We need to be more realistic with our expectations of men and women.
They should have relationship classes in school.
That's a good idea.
Hmm?
Well, there's always been
It'd be
talk about
creepy.
no, because there's always been talk like there's
Not
some people.
done like this is how you date. More like
Good job.
just
Not
teaching,
just around
just
the corner
teaching
type
people,
shit.
you know,
No, that's
to be
just
more
garbage.
vocal about situations like that, or to understand or to read situations that, you know, basically creating a better understanding from
Helping
between-
understand consent and such.
Right? Yeah.
Well, there's
Which is kind of fucked that we should even. Why is that even an idea? God damn.
I don't know,
You
but
know what happens when they try to do this?
It gets really awkward and nobody takes it serious. Dare.
We end up with one of those situations where they're giving us a presentation in the auditorium and the word lesion is said like 70 something fucking
Anal
times.
lesions.
I
Yeah.
think the last time they actually did a thing about that in high school, I sat in the back and shouted "testify."
oh my
He was
god,
like, "If y'all in a bad relationship, get out. Y'all way too young."
Oh, I
There's plenty
remember
of fish
that.
in the sea. I just testify.
Yeah. Well, you know, it could turn into something like Dare, because Dare is now something that, like, you'll wear when you're smoking weed because it's funny.
yeah.
It's ironic.
But I was
You want to know a little tidbit?
hold on.
No.
Wait a minute. I've been trying to say this for 30 fucking minutes. Y'all, calm
Motherfucker,
down.
you've been.
I'm just.
I will chop you.
Anyway, so there's I don't know if you saw this on this Breakfast Club interview, but there's a woman named Michelle Hope. She's literally someone who studies sex. That's like her job. Most people do it within like animals and things like, but no, she's talking about like human relationships and human sexual interactions. During the interview, they were talking to her about consent and things like that.
Yeah.
Can y'all stop?
No. No.
But she had.
Hey, bow, bow.
I'm
Hey,
getting to the point.
bow,
Oh my god.
Continue.
She brought up the idea of having sexual education K through 12.
Oh.
Right?
Teaching kindergartners about fucking.
No, because it'd be age appropriate. That's the whole thing. It'd be like learning about like the.
All right, little Timmy. One of these days, your penis is gonna get hard. You can't stop staring at ass. It's okay. Just don't act on it.
That's not what it meant.
Sometimes you might see mommy and daddy wrestling. That's fine.
It's just the idea of them like getting kids at an early age understanding the dynamics of what you said a relationship and understanding the idea of like not consent in a K to like kindergarten, but like the idea of what's right and what's okay and things like that.
All right, little Michelle. One day you might wake up and you're covered in blood.
Oh,
Why?
Too far?
no, just sudden and out of nowhere.
Yeah. Comedy.
And I know it was pretty, folks.
You want to know a little tidbit about how bad
Nope.
rape is nowadays?
Nope.
Oh,
I'm tired of you. Oh, go ahead.
In
Go
Japan, they have designated train stations from the hours of like I want to say like 7 to like 11 a.m. for women only, because it became such a common occurrence that while on the way to work, men were just groping women on the trains. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so they have a women-only transit there.
That is crazy.
That's sad.
Instead of teaching
really-
them, hey, no, that's wrong, we're just going to take them away. Touch them later.
That's not okay.
That's
That's not
horrifying.
okay
Yeah.
at all.
That's how bad of a problem it
You're
became.
altering public transit.
Instead of teaching them, that's wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
George is dumbfounded right now.
There's right and wrong ways to deal with things.
Yeah, I would probably. Hey, this is actually something I've been thinking about. Do you think in a gym class that women should be taught self-defense? I think so.
I think everyone should be taught self-defense, but go on.
Well, women especially.
It became a joke. That's what we learned.
No, exactly. I don't want that. I want it to be taken seriously. But don't get me wrong. I understand it's hard to get high schoolers to take shit seriously.
It's so hard.
I didn't even take high school seriously. Fucking
You weren't even there the last year.
exactly. Fuck them. Still graduated. I
Hmm.
beat the facts, people.
But like, there is something to that. That like, I don't think you should just classify it as just women. I think everybody should take self-defense, because there's nothing stopping from a grown ass man coming punching me in my fucking face and beating me down for no reason.
And fucking you in the ass.
Pancake.
Why did you take it? then?
Pancake.
What? Shout out to my cousin Pancake. No, I'm just kidding. That's not a real
Don't
person.
forget about head crack.
Bro, he told me today that I have a cousin named Look Down. I was like, what? He's like, basically, his name is Look Down because when he was in his field and the calf was being born, so he was looking down at the calf being born. And his mama told him to come here, and he wouldn't. So she took a frying pan, hit him in the back of the head, and now he just looks down all the time.
He called me Caitlin when I went upstairs. Because I told them about our former male classmate that's now a woman. So he then started referring to me as Caitlin, because
Caitlin.
apparently that's my lady name.
Bro, he's... Oh, lately
And then
he's
last
been-
week he called me Jim Crow.
Yeah.
We're talking about Brandon's father.
I was trying to get a
great
glass of
man.
water. He was like, "What's up, Jim?" I was like, "God damn it."
Shout out to Steven. He's been telling me like all these past couple weeks, he's like, loose lips eat chips. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, loose lips eat chips. I'm like, that's not a thing. He's like, yeah, it is. I was like, all right. So then earlier this week, he was still doing. I'm like, Steven, that's not a thing. Like I just hit my breaking point. I was like, no, that's not a thing. Stop it. He's like, all right, I got another one for you. I was like, all right, what is it? He's like, haters gonna hate, but I'm always your father. Like, what does that mean? Bro, I was standing in that hallway to the back of the house, and he was in the living room, and he just disappeared behind the corner, and I'm like,
And on that note, everybody, thank you for joining us once again. I
I'm a-
am the Legacy.
I'm OG Philly G.
I'm George Georgopoulos.
and it's baby Ice Cube. Peace out.